city, people have two heads sometimes. Three, they get very nervous if you smile irrationally. Down there in the city, people have three wives sometimes. Four, they get quite paranoid if you politely open a door. Down there in the city, people have foreskin sometimes. Five, they get very jealous of their neighbor for being alive. Down there in the city, people have five times sometimes. Six, they get quite hostile when a stranger tries to mix. Jesus loves you more if you can try. Jesus loves you.
Welcome. We kick off Eurosport's comprehensive coverage of the 1998 Motocross World Championship season at Beaucaire in the south of France, the traditional start to the year. The world's top riders gather for this non-championship meeting that combines 125s, 250s and 500s in the same heats. Beaucaire allowing them and us, of course, a chance to check out the team lineups and the equipment changes over the winter. Well, over the last two seasons, the FIM have built up the Motocross World Series, as Giuseppe Longo of the Action Group explains.
Our idea is all the time to take much more world coverage. Now we see about South Africa. We have already made contract with the USA, and we think still to make more race outside of Europe.
Wolfgang Serb, the chairman of the FIM's Motocross Commission, concurs entirely.
It's going to be more and more professional. So the impression we gave 2 or 3 years ago and the impression we have this year is totally different. And if you look nowadays, the paddock, it's like a Formula One paddock some years ago. And everyone is motivated, everyone is going in one direction. That's maybe the secret of our success.
A record 9 Grand Prix victories and a third consecutive World Championship title in '97 all ensure that Stefan Everts remains the man to watch in the 250s. The young Belgian, a national hero back home, and that brings with it certain obligations.
I've been traveling a lot. I've been doing a lot of PR work. I've been doing a lot of ceremonies. I've done lots of things. I didn't have time for holiday. I planned to do a holiday in Finland, but something came up and I had to return back to Belgium to receive a special award given by the government. It's like Sportsman of the Year, so that was very important.
Well, Everts carries with him a lot of hopes on his shoulders into '98, but he may find himself hampered by a restricted winter training session.
I haven't been riding my bike since half October till beginning of January, so I had a 2.5 months break. But my physical condition I've been working on. I did some recovering training, and just to keep up my basic condition in the winter time, that was important.
World Championship constructors Honda have been busy developing and testing their new CR machine for 1998.
It's a lot different, yeah. The chassis is completely different, and it's completely different for riding. It feels much more easier and flexible for riding, and I like it very much. It's a big improvement from the bike from last year. The engine is a little quicker, so completely the bike is perfect.
Sidelined through injury in '97, Frederick Bolley finished only 9th in the World Championship. The Frenchman then dramatically quit Kawasaki, opting to join Honda as the champion's teammate for '98. It's a different bike, that's for sure, says Frederick, but it's what I was looking for when I left Kawasaki, a bike that's easier for me to ride. Over the years, he says, I've learned that it's vital to have a machine that's very easy to ride, because the World Championship has 16 rounds, with 2 45-minute races over tracks that are frequently very rough. I've chosen a bike that's much more like an enduro machine than a purebred motocrosser.
Donc je dirais, j'ai opté pour une moto plus d'enduriste que de crossman.
Perhaps this season he'll finally get the chance to really show his worth. His target remains the World Championship. All he has to do is beat his teammate.
En tout cas, je
Well, one thing is for certain, says Frederick, with Stefan Everts around, everyone else will have to work extremely hard to take the championship title. Stefan's 4 titles show that he is a great rider, but he's been very happy to tell me all his tricks and tactics just to help me along as his Honda teammate. So in my opinion, he's not just a great rider, he is a true champion. World Championship runner-up for a 3rd time in '97, Belgian Marnicq Bervoets will again start the season on a machine developed by US crosser Jeremy McGrath. The Belgian feels that everything is now in place to allow him to take that elusive first world title.
Well, hopefully, I'm 3 years in a row that I was 2nd in the World Championship, 250. So there's only one shot to do it. That's the #1 plate, and hopefully I can have it in '98.
Hampered by a '97 work Suzuki that just wasn't competitive.
Problem with my foot. I did a supercross and I crashed and I had some ligaments broken in my foot. So my running is, I'm just running in 2 weeks now. So my condition is not on this moment on a good position, but it will be ready for the first Grand Prix.
Well, hampered by a '97 work Suzuki that just wasn't competitive, the Belgian seems happier with this year's version.
The bike is a lot better than the '97 bike, that's for sure, but we're still working on it to get it to my position, and we're still working on it, and it will be okay for the Grand Prix.
Werner de Wit should be another rider to watch this season, 7th in the 97-point standings. He will need a consistent year if he's to challenge the big boys. Pete Beirer ended '97 with a phenomenal run of success. 2 heat wins in the Motocross of Nations earned him the offer of a Works Yamaha, but he opted to stay with the Pamo Honda team, and he'll use work-spec HRC equipment this year.
It was always a dream for me to get the HRC Honda to race the World Championship, and yeah, after I get that offer from Honda, I could not say I want to move to another bike. So I'm very happy to get this Honda, and yeah, it looks like after first testing I took the right choice.
Fastest time in Beaucaire served to confirm that Pete will be as big a threat in '98 as he was at the end of the '97 season.
It's, I think, many little details. For sure the bike looks the same if you watch it from here, but there are so many details you can make perfect for yourself. Like a standard bike have to fit for many thousand people, but this is a bike, it's just made for me on the questions I had, and so I can make the suspension and the handling and the seat position like I want it, and this is the big difference, and this makes a really big difference for me in the riding. I feel so easy, and so yeah, it's no more work. It's really fun to ride this bike, and I think I can show a lot of good races with that bike.
Encouraged by his '97 success and a good winter's training, the German is leaving no doubt in anyone's minds as to his goal.
Yeah, definitely it's my target this year, and since the new bike arrived and I tested it first time, this was the last question mark for me. I was training, I was so motivated with that big target to be world champion this year, and there was a little question mark: how will the new bike be for me? Will it support me to have it easier? And since yesterday I'm absolutely sure that I can win, because there is an advantage and I'm gonna take it.
After the break we'll look at the other major players in the World Motocross Series. Join us then.